Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, I am going to show you how to use the execute immediate from command in Snowflake. This is preview feature open as of today, available to all accounts like Azure. Your Snowflake account might have hosted on Azure, GCP, AWS. Execute immediate from execute the SQL statements specified in a file in a stage. Here stage could be either internal stage or external stage. The file can contain SQL statements or Snowflake scripting blocks. So inside file you can keep the SQL statements more than one. If you are going to keep the more than one, you have to separate it by semicolon. Snowflake scripting blocks nothing but a named procedures or anonymous, like declare, begin and end. The statements must be syntactically correct SQL statements. Whatever you are going to keep inside file, those statements should syntactically correct SQL statement. Otherwise, we are going to get the error while executing file using execute immediate from command. You can use the execute immediate from command to execute the statements in a file from any Snowflake session. This feature provides a mechanism to control the deployment and management of your Snowflake objects and code. Assume that you are not going to use any CI/CD process as in your project. Okay, in that case, how we are going to promote or deploy your code into higher environments? So this is the one of the feature where we can use to achieve or deployment your code in higher environments. Here is the syntax: execute immediate from obsolete path or relative path. Here if you see obsolete path is nothing but namespace, stage name, path, file name. So here is namespace is nothing but a your database name dot schema name or schema name. Okay, relative path you can use the dot and then partially you can use. So namespace is the database and or schema in which the internal or external stage reside in the form of database name dot schema name or only schema name. It is optional if a database and schema are currently in use within the user session. Otherwise, it is required. So if you are going to use the database in your session, database and schema, then no need to use the namespace. Stage name is the name of the internal or external stage, and path is a case sensitive path to the file in the stage. File name is the name of the file to execute. It must contain syntactically correct and valid SQL statements. Statements must be separated by a semicolon. As I told that, if you are going to keep more than one statement inside file, those statements should be separated by semicolon. Usage notes. A file can include execute immediate from statements. Inside file also you can use the execute immediate from command to execute a file from another file. Execute immediate from statement executed in a Snowflake session must be absolute file path. If you are going to execute this command, okay, you have to use the absolute file path, not relative. Relative file path you can use the inside your file. Absolute file path can optionally be enclosed in single quotes. The file to be executed cannot be larger than 10 MB in size. That means if you are going to keep your all commands in a single file, that file size should not exceed 10 MB. The file to be executed must be encoded in UTF-8 character set. The file to be executed must be uncompressed. If you use the put command to unload the file to an internal stage, you must explicitly set the auto underscore compress parameter to false. Please note that when you are going to use the or upload this file using the put command from SnowSQL, if you don't specify this auto compress, by default your file is going to be compressed mode. So you cannot execute a file which is in compress. Okay, so you have to use the parameter auto compress equal false. If you want to use an internal stage for the file, you must use a stage that is configured with server-side encryption. I will show you the what is the server-side encryption while creating the stage as part of demo. Let's get in action. So here I already created two files, create inventory.sql, and inside this file I have kept create or replace table and execute immediate from, and here this is the another file which is going to execute as part of execute immediate from command and then select statement. So here this file three commands are there, and each command separated by semicolon. And second file I am keeping only two commands, one is the insert, okay, another one is the commit. So this file is going to be executed as part of executing this file, first file. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, let's see. As part of this demo, I'm going to create four databases: three dev, test, prod, and common db database, and I'm going to upload these two files in the common db. Let's use the role sysadmin, and warehouse is computer underscore wh. And if this database already exists, then I'm just going to drop these databases, and then I'm going to create all these four database at a time. Okay, four databases created. Now this step already done. Create a file named create inventory.sql, and the second insert.inventory. Now I'm going to create an internal stage in common db. So I'm going to use the database common db and create stage inside public schema. This is the server side encryption. Type is equal to snowflake underscore ssc. So created stage area, my underscore stage successfully created. I'm going to see is there any files inside. Obviously no, because just now we have created. Now we have to keep these files, upload the files. Okay, so we can do this by using this NoSQL, or you know from here, snow site itself. So as part of this demo, first let me upload these files from SnowSQL. Let me copy this command, and I'm going to open SnowSQL, and let me connect to, yeah, this one SnowSQL. Okay, SnowSQL -a and account name -u username, and enter your password and use the role sysadmin, because I created databases using the sysadmin. Use role sysadmin and use the database common db where I created a stage, and then upload file. Okay, paste the command. See here auto compress is equal to false, so uploaded status is, if you see, uploaded one file. And let me copy the second file. Okay, happened here? No, I didn't copy properly. Let me control C, sorry, paste. And okay, two files have been uploaded in my stage. Now you can display by using the list command. So here these are the two files. Okay, now what I'm going to do, let me create manually. Okay, as you know, in real time, in development environment, we are going to have create table privileges mostly. Okay, create all objects, necessary objects as part of your project, hence we no need to use this one. Okay, I'm going to use the dev database and public schema, and I have assume that I have a access, so that I can create this table and I can insert. Okay, and I can select the data from this file. Now assume that our development is completed and we got the everything looks fine. Then we are going to promote this code in higher environments. So to promote your code in environments like testdb. As a developer, you don't have the privilege to create any objects in your test or production database. So as part of the PowerPoint slide, we assume that we are not using any CI/CD process or Git, okay, to promote our code. Hence, we are going to use the execute immediate from command. So we have to, instead of you have to ask DBA team to execute all these commands, okay. So instead of you know sharing these commands, we can upload this file, I mean, as we uploaded in this internal stage, and we can give the instructions, okay, to execute those files which are present in the internal stage or external stage. As part of our demo, we are using the internal stage. So what I'm going to do, assume that this activities is going to do by DBA person, okay. So DBA person, we are going to give the instructions to these commands, okay. You execute like this. So before executing, what you has to do, set the test database, okay, session. And this is not necessary, drop, okay. Let me remove. So I am going to check whether just it is present, table is present, not, okay, table is not present. Then this is the command where we can execute. If you execute this one, create, okay, command, it will create the table and display the data, because internally inside this command file, we are calling another file, okay, insert underscore in. That's why both files have been executed and we see the data. This is the simple way how we are going to execute or compile all the necessary objects which are present in the files, okay. So now if you see structure, table structure, and we can see data from, okay. Once your testing is done in the test environment, we can ask DBA to do the same in production environment. So to do that one, just use the database name proddb and select star from, you just check whether I mean table is present or not. It's not there. So if you execute this one, table is going to create and data is going to insert, and select statement all, see this one done. So yeah, thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, share it, like it. Thank you once again.